Hey guys, how you doing? This is just going to be a quick video on Stefan compatible clips. I think most everyone is aware or knows how to make clips Stefan compatible with the regular method of removing the clip, or actually taking it apart by unscrewing these two screws, fighting with these two side tabs, finally popping it open, and putting in two bars on the side, and then also shaving down the dart pusher, closing it all back up, and you now have a clip. The problem with this is that this clip is now no longer available to be used with stock darts. There is another method out there that people may not be aware of, where you use a post. The post can be a piece of brass, which I am using here in this example. I know that people have also used dowel rods. I think in the one example that I saw, the person was using a 3/16 diameter dowel rod. And so whichever rod type that you use, it can be done. It can be done for 6 clips. It can also be done for stampede clips. The nice thing about this method is that it is also reversible, so that you can remove the rod or the tube so that it can be made Stefan compatible, but then you can also remove it so that you can use stock streamlines. In most of the examples I had seen, people still opened up the clips and they glued everything in and it was done. You couldn't reverse the mod, so that it was kind of either one way or the other. I was looking for a method where I didn't have to open up a clip and fight with it, and to also just make it reversible. And I think there are some pictures that show parts of this, but the only real difference that I'm doing here is just showing you how I've done it so that I don't have to open up the clip at all. So to get started, what you would need to do on a clip is to take the dart pusher, push it all the way down to the very bottom of the clip, and we'll do that here. You would then drill a hole through the clip shell all the way to the other side, so it goes through the clip and the dart pusher. And then to make that hole, you would use a small drill. I use a pin vise, which is basically just a hand drill. Drill that hole all the way through and take something that can basically lock it in place. This is just a paper clip that I have here. It's kind of bent, so it may not fit all the way through, but you get the point that I'm trying to do here. Is just, there you go, just lock it in place. Once it is locked, you can then take your drill straight through the bottom. That will go through the shell and also through the dart pusher. I use a drill press. You can use a regular hand drill. Just make sure you drill it very straight through so that it doesn't go off at an angle. You definitely don't want to hit the walls at all. Also, that you are going to try to be working around the spring itself. Once that is done, you'll just want to pop this out. Then you're going to want to widen the hole to accept the sleeve. In this case, the sleeve, for this sleeve, I just used an old pen casing. I cut off maybe a 1/4 of an inch. Definitely not anything too wide. You're not going to want it as long as the dart pusher itself. Widen the hole, stick in the sleeve, glue that in there, file it down so that it's nice and straight, and then you're just going to want to slide your rod up all the way through. So then once that is there, you're going to want to push down the dart stop to this lowest point in the shell, and try to get your rod to be just under that. And so then you can mark it off here, and that's where you're going to cut the rod, and try to put a stopper on the end there so that you can remove this on and off. In this case, I've just used a number 8 washer. You may be familiar with these for slugs. I had bought these a while ago when number 8s were the rage and are no longer are, so at least I found a use for a couple of them. The one thing I did find out about 6 dart clips is that the spring itself kind of goes in a zigzag pattern, kind of in a number 3. The center coil can be in a different place. So this small black, that coil right there is the center coil, and it is going to be on this side. But on this clip, the center coil is actually on this side. So when I originally tried to make my first cut here, the rod was getting in the way of the center coil, so the dart pusher would stop halfway up and it wouldn't go through. So what I had to do was, you can either open this up, flip the spring, close it back up, do the normal mods, or basically just move the rod or the tube over so that it's on the other side, but then you have to reverse your clip. And that involves cutting off this tab, what would be this tab here. You're also going to have to open up or create another clip lock slot if you have locks on. And I also found on some of them you have to shave down this part and this part here. And that was it. I also shaved off the identifying marks of telling me which way it goes, just so that I don't get confused, because that happens often. But that is kind of what you'll have to look out for six dart clips. The Stampede is really easy because the spring on a Stampede clip kind of wraps around the inside of the magazine, so you have no worries going all the way through. It's a fairly long tube, so just make sure you go all the way up to the top. And the same thing, you have a sleeve up there, and it works great. I've tried these two out, and overall probably took me maybe half hour plus drying time for the glue, but they're very easy to make. You don't need to open up your clips anymore. And they're pretty simple. So, if you have any comments or questions, please let me know. If you like the content on my channel, please like and subscribe. Thanks guys, we'll see you later.